Here right on the second before we open.
Yeah, and normally she's our normally Daphne is our time watcher, so we know that with Daphne we're good.
It's like I got 15 seconds before they're live. Boom.
Yeah, we got
Marvy's in the house. Good afternoon from Portugal. I won't be able to see the show. I wish you all a great day and hope to be with you guys soon. Take care. That's what he says. Come on in, everybody. We see you out there in the hallway. There's plenty of room, plenty of open chairs here in front. Come on in.
You're gonna like one of the letters I got from Indie Radio this morning, Randy.
Water in the back.
You're gonna love it.
I'm sure. Sounds good.
It's one of those great letters that you only get ever so once ever so often. And
fed mail from some flounder.
It is in a way. It is. Hello everyone. Welcome to Indie Breakfast Buzz for July 8th. Yeah.
Google Chrome says we're live. Cool. Come on in, everybody. Hit that like button. Hit that love button. Well, don't hit my love button, but hit the show's love button.
How dare you?
Yeah, good times. Here we go. I'm making sure I got everything set up here.
Ready? I'm rolling the opening.
Go ahead.
Everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
Empyrean Volt says, good morning, Indie Volters. Good morning, Empyrean. Hope you're doing well.
Good morning. What the heck is this? What's coming for me? I got packages coming this morning. They're coming from all over.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know where. I don't know where they're coming from. They're just all over.
A bombardment of riches.
Yeah. It's weird. You see these packages coming. You get all these, delivery updates, and you're like, what did I order? It's being, you guys call it Kickstarter. There's no
getting something in from Kickstarter.
Well, I don't know what it is. It could be a Kickstarter package. It could be because they say Kickstarter. I don't know if Indiegogo has one. Is it Indiegogo? Ew, sounds nasty.
It's very
I got
nice.
Indiegogo.
Indiegogo, go.
Hello everybody. We got so much stuff to talk about this morning. And I got
we're still pouring coffee. Come on in, folks.
Yeah. I got two letters this morning on Indie Radio that you guys are gonna
shut the coffee off.
No, you're fine for now. Well, yeah, I mean you can if you want. I gotta
just leave it running. You're on Icon. I can be on Icon too, I guess.
Well, we have our pictures up for a reason. I'll bring my camera on in a minute. I just rough this morning. Do want to happy to talk to everybody about what we're doing for the Indie World Awards and get some news for that. And, Liberty and Zimm distribution, of course. Lots of news there. A lot of stuff I'm doing. We just crossed 80 stores and signed up, Randy. So
sweet. 80
comic book shops across the country now. Accepting product from Liberty and Zimm distribution, which is
80 for me, going on 800.
Yeah. This is Hanso's community. Yeah, we've got a lot of good stuff going on. But Randy, I guess we better introduce ourselves, so I'll do that.
Do that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Varian Grant. Hi. and the founder of Indie Media LLC. Started making comics back in 2008. I'm a comic book artist, publisher, commenter, critic, father, geek, gamer, husband, occasional actor, reluctant taxpayer, your child's favorite artist, and welcome to the Indie Book Breakfast Buzz. I'm joined, as I am every week, by the comic book historian, even though he won't accept it.
Comic historian,
yeah, the comics historian, Mr. Zimm. Hello.
Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm Randy Zimmerman. I've been in alternative and independent comics for many decades. Self-published quite a lot. Published freelanced quite a lot. Done just about everything in the direct market that you can imagine, including retailing and distributing and all of that fun stuff. Ran conventions for over 10 years. And now I'm working real hard in bringing back Arrow Comics again to the direct market. Arrow Comics was the first creator-owned comic company out there, where all of the creators own the IPs that they printed, not the comic company. So, looking on bringing that back out as Arrow Comics 4.0. You can find that over on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. If you're not signed up, please sign up now, because we've got a lot of great announcements, a lot of great product that we're going to be bringing out to you. And again, all of that product will be available through Liberty Distribution, ledg.us. So,
yeah, let's see here. I've been watching you put together Arrow, especially for the last time. I've been interested in it for the past 2 weeks. You made a lot of different moves over the last month or two, especially. And, it's been cool to see you do that.
Well, we're in full production, 4 books a month, 2 monthlies and 2 bi-monthlies that are going to be the bi-monthlies will be interchanging. But 4 books a month for the direct market that you get to ship to them. So can't wait for you to see them. The first set of books are already at the publisher or at the printer.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hold them in my hands. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's I've got a whole new printing. I got a whole new warehouse for these books because I recognized that it was going to be what I had was not enough. It just wasn't enough.
Nope.
And I'm actually in the process of ordering some more shelving because I found, I don't know if you know this, Randy, I've talked about it before, but Eric and I are, we consider ourselves, what's the word? Well, we're store fixture whores. That sounds weird, I know.
A hoarder. Yeah.
No,
Wholesale hoarder. Yeah.
Well, we love store fixtures.
You have a fondness for strange racks. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like we'll go into like there used to be
Lola comes up and slaps you in the back of the head.
There was a store called the Store, and oh, we would go in there and frolic like children, like, oh, look at this, and look at this, oh, it's beautiful, and it was very weird.
You've done that online, probably online in the past over your favorite filing cabinet company.
Oh yeah. But look at these, Randy. Look at this, guys. If you're watching on Indie Book Radio, you can't see this, but
what good is that going to do? Oh, that's your packing station. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm over at Uline, and I'm looking at the packing stations they have, and look at this. Oh, there's room for boxes, and there's nice wide tables. There's attachments for computer desks, so you can always see what you're packing.
There's even a dispenser roll for your butcher block paper. Yeah.
Now a lot of that stuff is extra. Some of those things are extra, like there's some
shelving,
the dividers, or the reel holders, the bin rails, the LED light kits, the monitor arm, the workstation fan.
That's how they get you. You start at the basic package and then you build up and add on.
Yeah, tabletop power strips. Now, it's funny. I buy these tabletop power strips anyway. I buy a lot of these because I have a lot of electronics. So I tuck them away. You can't even see them in my house where they're at because but they are very nice, and they get some tabletop ones. The ones that I have aren't tabletop, but they are very nice, and they come in handy when you need them. But yeah, this particular one is
you never know when you're going to need to drill into a package.
No, yeah, you never know. You never know. I think this one here is very expensive though. Let me take a look at it and see what.
Don't dox yourself.
Oh, I'm not. We're gonna log in using the Geekgasm account, and we're gonna see if
it's not that people can't figure out where you live.
Yeah, we're gonna figure out who you are.
While you're doing that, Empyrean Volt says, I actually backed a Kickstarter from 2014 that the guy seemingly disappeared, and now he's actually delivering just 6 years late. At least he's delivering.
Yeah. So that table, the starter table, it depends on what size you want it at. There's a 60 by 36, a 72 by 36, and a 96 by 96.
That's cool.
Yeah, the starter table.
That's for some mighty big packages there.
Yeah, now depending on which one you want, if you want the composite wood top, the laminated top, or the maple top, laminated should be fine. But I mean,
have to have the type of tabletop not to dry out your package.
Yeah, you gotta make sure that your package has to stay. It's very important to keep the package moist and with the right amount of humidity. Once packages get too humid, or then warping, funk,
the ripping and the tearing.
Yeah, the ripping and tearing and the ripping. 569. Just a starter table. That doesn't include everything else. So start throwing those appliances, those accessories.
You can spend a lot of money just on one station.
Yeah. The aggressive relaxer. That's a nice table. It is $569 for just the base package.
Period says you can start your own sweatshop.
You can. There it is.
Especially this time of year.
Yeah. So starter table. Depending on the composite wood, the laminated top, or the maple top. If you want the maple top at 96 by 36, is $1,055. You're ordering more than two, $1,025. But they're all temporarily unavailable, which is one of my problems, Randy. They're all unavailable right now. So
supplies are hard. Times are rough. The supply lines have been cut.
I just want to take
over the last year or so. Everybody's got that excuse.
Just want to take.
Yeah, COVID.
Yeah, just want to tell you, but that's all. Yeah,
I have to order it now and wait for a year.
Yeah, I want to ask you this question, Randy. I'd love to hear the chat chime in on this too.
Sarah's in the audience.
Hey,
hello,
Sarah.
How you doing? Draw and Talk is in the audience. Hey, Draw and Talk. Hope you're doing well. Comic book black belt. Russ is in the house. Strange Racks, always fun.
Then you get in trouble. They're not fun.
William Pace says, Good morning, William. Hope you're doing well. Make sure you hit that like button.
Like and subscribe.
Make sure you subscribe. Go over to YouTube and subscribe. We are really looking forward to closing in on 1,000 subscribers so that we can bug YouTube about being allowed to take on super chats. Something we're looking forward to.
Yeah.
On top of everything else going on.
So this letter is from Aaron, and Aaron is a comic book curator, and he writes in the Indie Vote. He says, "Want to get you guys' opinion. Over the shutdown, I met a beautiful woman. Yeah, she's Italian and Chinese. Very exotic looking. I imagine she is. I imagine she's very exotic looking." Italian and Chinese. He says she wants to go to Comic-Cons with me and be my booth babe, which is awesome because my girlfriend being my booth babe is
That's right, Tyler. I need a raise.
Yeah.
John Talk says, "Come on, sub guys. I want to give some money to Randy."
Yeah, they should sub. We are at 700 something subs on Indie Vote right now. I know that certain people that's small, but for us it's
and we're really close to having to buy more bandwidth.
Yeah.
We pressed that line on Tuesday.
And I'll be honest with you guys, the we yesterday we were at 780 something subs, I think it was, and then it dropped. We almost lost like 20 something. I'm like, what did we do? What did we do? What did we say? I'm so sorry. What did we say? Come back. I'm nervous about it though, because a lot of my friends who are in the industry who've met her says she's very pretty and talk about how hot she is. I'm worried that if I bring her to Comic-Cons, some other artists much more experienced than I am and maybe in a better financial position may be able to woo her. Now, listen, don't say that to her. Don't say that to her. Oh man, I lost this letter. Ah, crap. Can't bring it back up either. I will. Well, listen, sir. Don't say that to her. Because it makes it kind of seem like you think your girlfriend will run off with the first guy that's got a couple dollars.
Yeah, make sure you're in check. You want to. That's a self-esteem problem that you don't feel that you're solid enough in with her that she wouldn't stray. So just make sure your relationship with her is strong. That's really what you need to do. Communication is really the key.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to be said for, being the funny one. And I wouldn't worry about too much about being wooed as much as keeping your self-esteem in check, and that she's going to get hit on. She's pretty. She's exotic. I can only imagine she's probably quite gorgeous, and you're going to have to get used to that every time you take her out. Because what are you going to do? Just keep her in the house all day? That's not the way that works. Yeah. That's not the way any of this works.
Yeah. I'm keeping you in there. You're not going anywhere.
So you're going to have to get to a mental state, buddy, that you are the lucky one, and keep her happy. That's your job.
He has to remember too that I will tell him this. Look, when I first met Lola, she was 20 years old, and there was no difference for Lola between wearing a tank top and a lingerie top out in public.
Mm-hmm.
She had no. She wear either one. To her, it was clothes, and yeah. So you gotta kind of be careful. Yeah, just make sure relationship is strong. And hey, listen. Guys are gonna flirt with it whether you're at the con or not.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. So
get used to it.
Yeah.
Make sure that your communication skills are up and that you're that the marriage is secure. And if you have a good, secure marriage, you have faith in that security, then you're not going to worry so much about taking her out in public.
He didn't say they were married. He said it was his girlfriend. But yeah, so
yeah. Well, same thing.
Yeah.
Marriage is paperwork, but it's really a mental. It's a state of mind. So,
yeah.
A lot of people are married long before they get married.
Because
met Monica with my wife. We went out to Beetlejuice, and that was it.
So. Yeah. I was looking to see if I could find one that was of decent taste, but I was trying to think, like, did I have any pictures of Lola when I first met her?
There's always give and takes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you gotta, just be concerned about that, sir. That those things can happen. Now,
and a lot, and keep in mind, a lot of that is relationship. Goes back to the relationship. If your relationship is strong with her, you don't have anything to worry about. And as long as you're confident enough in that relationship, and that's really the key, is getting your self-confidence up, your self-esteem. There's all sorts of different ways that you can get messed up, thinking, she's too good for me or whatever, and just raise the jealousy.
Says that homeboy needs to roll a perception check. Imperial Bowl says, okay, I turn to playing alert hypnosis. If this dude keeps the girl hypnotized, he can implant several hypnotic suggestions. Yeah, there's an old saying. What's it? If you want your life long without strife, don't make a pretty woman your wife.
Yeah. If you want to be happy the rest of your life,
Yeah.
never make a pretty woman your wife.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. Got to get it done now. Now, Randy, this next one, you are going to you're gonna scratch your head on this one because it's from our buddy Austin. Who?
Okay.
Austin, if you watch
I know.
Evo, yeah. Reminding people on the radio and who
Yeah.
haven't seen the show.
Do
If
that.
you haven't watched, Austin is a gentleman who has a book, and he has positioned that book to be printed at 3 different publishers. Now, these publishers did not know about each other. They had no idea that the other existed, let alone that Austin had put his book with all 3 publishers at the same time. So this isn't a deal that lapsed, and it's these are all current deals. And
one in Maine, one in Texas, one in California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And one of the publishers is a listener, watcher of Indie Vote, and reached out to me and told me about it. And I guess he told Austin he was going to tell us, and we are going to talk about him. And we gave Austin Griff King, and Austin's not been happy with us since we gave him Griff King.
Oh, he's not?
He's not been happy with us since we gave him Griff King. No.
Sorry to hear that, but
and he says in his letter, I do not understand how I could get Griff King when people are out here with campaigns they're not fulfilling. They are worthy of your Griff King no prize, not me. I'm simply beyond the curve and have figured how to get my books into the most hands as possible. I have maximized my output as a creator. If publishers weren't all being greedy capitalists, they would understand what I've done, and they would understand that this is the new way and the better way to do indie comics.
Do you want me to answer that, or do you want to take a crack at it?
I'll let you go.
All right, Austin, we know exactly what you've done. And granted, you might have done it out of the naivete of the industry if you didn't do all of your research, but I have a feeling that you did. And in doing that and knowing what you were doing, when you moved that property to 3 different publishers at the exact same time, especially if you didn't let the other 2 or let the other publishers know that this deal was going down, that's fraud as far as the industry is accepted. Now, you might have gotten away with it contractually. You might think that you're Captain Slick. You might think that you've reinvented the wheel, but you haven't. All you've done is figured out another way to fraud these publishers. And apparently these publishers gave you an advance, each one, in order to have the privilege of printing your book. And I would venture to guess all 3 of them paid you that advance on the assumption that they had exclusivity. And you not giving that to them, going against the market norm, is not something that should be considered to be ingenious. And people in the business would consider it a deep fraud. And what you need to do is decide which of the 3 publishers you want to be printed with, refund the other 2, and go with the 3rd, depending upon how soon you sign those contracts. Because technically that first contract, there's an implied exclusivity because that's the way the market runs.
I agree with you, Randy. I agree with you. Now, he's of the opinion that the publishers now have to work to sell.
And again, that comes from your perception of your bad perception of the market, or your over research, or whatever. You think you're going to play the system. That's not how that works. That's not how that works at all. And yes, a publisher would have to work hard in order to work back any kind of advance, but that's on the assumption that they're going to do a lot more than the money that they fronted you.
And I've traded a few emails with him. And his idea is that our books are like gym shoes. Okay, Foot Locker can carry them. Foot Action can carry them. discount shoe warehouse, whatever. All these different places can carry the same brand of gym shoes. It's up to them to get those gym shoes. So you buy them from him. So basically, you're buying the right to print his comic. Now, here's the problem, Austin. If you would have said from the start that's what you were doing, and the publishers knew it, then you know what? You don't get Griff King.
There you go.
Well, maybe you do, but you wouldn't.
No. Then you're actually trying out something different. But people are informed. You've had that communication with the and say, hey, this isn't how the business usually works, but this is how I want to look at it. What do you think?
Yeah.
And I would have guaranteed you wouldn't have gotten any of them deals. You wouldn't have gotten any of them advances or nothing.
Yeah.
You're not slick. You're just fraudulent.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're playing a system with the independents. It's like a going around and trying to sell the same, like the old carpetbaggers would go around and sell houses out from underneath people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that in this is a form of grift because you did not inform the people paid you under false pretenses. Technically, they can all break their contracts because you don't hold up to that exclusivity.
I don't think the deals are there, like you said.
They wouldn't be there. Know. Any publisher in there would tell you that, look, this isn't how the system works. Get out of my office.
Want to chime in on this? We have a visitor.
Especially paying you in advance. Now, on the other hand, if this was all a percentage deal and people were just printing your book to give you a percentage, even that would make it wrong because that's not how this business works. Right. Every printer that's out there is assuming that they're national, whether they're national or not, or whether they even know of each other or not. There's plenty of little self-publishers out there that obviously you've taken advantage of. So, what you've tried to do is game the system, and what you've tried to do is wrong.
Yeah. I wanted to chime in on this. Tyler Carpenter, you're on talk. Tyler.
No, I was just saying, I was in the chat just saying Randy body slammed this fool.
Yeah.
Now, I work for a small good morning, guys. I love watching.
Good morning.
I work for a small book publisher. We would sue this dude so quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we signed a contract. If we gave you a man, so boy, and now you're trying to dupe us. Like, when you sign with a publisher, you're giving them that exclusive right to your IP. They're investing in you, and now you're trying to game the system. It's very disrespectful.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like he thinks that. Like, I get it. Like, it's weird because he has a publisher in Maine. He has one in Texas and he has one in Cali. He split it up coastal. And I think that's what he thinks. He's like in the old wrestling territories. Like, oh, well, you can't, this isn't my fault. I'm just, I've got my little fiefdom over here. You're good. Don't worry.
Like the salesman that travels around. Now, son, this is what you need. I've got some land over here in Montana for you. All you have to do is pay for it. It's beautiful land. Look at this land. This is great land. Pay for it. And then you go up to the next town, to the next person, or the next big money opportunity. Hey, son, I got some land in Montana here for you. You can, look at it. It looks great. And it's the same plot over and over again. And now you've got three buyers that are arguing over who actually owns the property or has rights to print the property.
And Austin's been emailing back and forth, and I've told him, Austin, come on the show Tuesday. Let's talk about what you've done, and let's talk about remedying. Let's start figuring out a remedy or a solution for this, because you've got some publishers out there who are going to be out of money or very upset with you. At least you're ruining your chances for future work. And if you keep this up, every book that you publish from here on out, people are going to say, well, wait a minute, am I the only publisher? Are you sure, Austin? Are you sure?
This is a very small industry. And it's one of those, you can burn somebody once, but once you've done that, everybody else at that level is going to know how they got burned.
Especially when it comes to publishing.
Yeah.
If your goal as a creator is to be published and you're trying to scam the publishers, and just if you just think about this like logically as well, like what if Marvel? What if like Scott Snyder were to take his Batman New 52 ideas and go to Marvel as well, and then
Morning, Scott.
Morning, Squawk.
and DC is publishing Batman Court of Owls. Then all of a sudden they see Marvel do it, and they're like, "Wait, what are you doing, Marvel?" He goes, "Oh yeah, Scott's working with us as well."
Mm-hmm.
They'd be like, "Okay, Scott, you're out."
Yeah. It's
They have a hard enough time arguing over names, let alone actual stories and properties. Look at how many Captain Marvels there's been.
now Imperial was a strife. And William Pace says he just burnt all of the bridges all at once. Yeah, he took napalm to all of the
That's
bridges.
what I was saying. Everybody talks.
Yeah.
Everybody knows. Everybody will know who you are. Everybody will know what you've done.
Yeah. It's wow. So Austin wrote back in with that. Austin, you are still welcome to come on the show. We'll talk to you about it. We won't even yell at you. We promise. But he did.
It's an interesting. I guess the easiest way to say it is flim flam. You know, and it's one that everybody needs to know has happened and can happen again if they're not careful.
Flim. Every time I think of flim, I think of was it the Monty Python with is it I almost said Gregory Peck? No, I forget what he's like. This is the Shim Sham dance. I forget what it was. He tap dances. I can't. Oh shit! It's not Gregory Peck. It's Oh well, it'll come back to me. Anyway, I had to think about that. But
Fred Astaire?
No. It's a black actor. He's since passed.
Gregory.
Let me see if I can.
I have to confess something. One, do I sound okay? I'm on my phone.
Yeah, you're a little echoey, but not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just because I'm in my kitchen.
Yeah.
I realized I hadn't when I was like everyone subbed so I can give Randy money. I realized I wasn't even subbed. I know.
You know what's funny about that is that people have been getting unsubbed from all kinds of places. Yeah, make sure you're subbed. Make sure you're still subbed.
Yes, YouTube's been making that a habit to go through and knock down everybody's sub rate.
Yeah.
It's I mean, if they'll do like stupid algorithm things, like if the person hasn't seen your video in a while, or they haven't clicked it, or they were a bot. Like I think I lost 50 subscribers yesterday. I think some were bots, and then other people just. I said I wasn't gonna live stream anymore, so they unsubscribed. So yeah, like. People, especially when you guys are going for 1,000, and also you're like, wait, we just went down by 4. What the heck?
Yeah. It's when you go down by 20, you're like, what did we say? What did we do? It was Gregory Hines in History of the World with the Ethiopian Shim Sham. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was a Shim Sham, not a flim flam.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah. That's when you get screwed like Luke just did. Yeah, never mind. No.
That's a robbery right there.
Yeah. I think that was Charles Hino said the book wants to be good. The publishers wanted it. He says, paid advances? Who pays advances? I used to pay advances, Charles. I used to, and I stopped. Randy was like, "What?" When Randy calls me, he says, "What's in your head? What are you doing?" Advances. He made money back on that book. Yeah. So Randy, take it out your contracts. Take it out now. And I took it out. I used to offer $500 advances.
Did you? Obviously, other people do too. Continue.
Yeah, it worked. It worked for a while. Then I stopped. Like I said, it's a lot more trouble than it's worth in some cases. If it's in my contract and you sign it, it's good. You've gotten it. But future contracts, especially this one starting in 2021, I've taken it out just because. Two, people think advance for some reason means free money. Never that they have to pay it back.
Oh yeah.
So they're always shocked when it's like, no, you owe me. And like, what? Well, I gave you money to start, remember? And they're like, oh.
No publisher would pay in advance that they didn't think they weren't going to make back at least threefold.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they get.
Well, that's on you. I'm checking my phone for it going off, and
I thought my phone was going off. My messenger was going off. I don't know what the hell that was.
Well, standards and practices telling you.
Yeah, telling me, hey, shut it up.
Be careful.
Yeah, all those flim jokes you're making. Yeah.
Mike, Jimmy in the house. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mike.
Good day, sir. Good day. Oh, good morning.
He just got home from work.
I just got
luckily an early day.
Nine
realms in the house. Jake's in the house.
Yeah. Now. Oh yeah, we got everybody. Good morning. Oh yeah, a lot of people in the house. Just popping in. Jake Vistor. I have to say it with the accent. Twister.
Yes. Well, just call him Jake.
Yeah. Now, Randy, and I think Tyler will enjoy this question too. Medieval Radio. And this one is this one.
Do we have radio numbers at all?
Yeah, right now this morning, 41,082 people listening. Thank you. Yeah, and Pat says, just amazing that the publishers not only picked up the book paid advance on any name of those. That's
what I was thinking.
Yeah. We know the name of one, but Randy and I don't name of one, but we can't say it.
Yeah.
Dang it, man! It's spoken. Twisted.
Well, some of these publishers might not want to be known. Some of the publishers might not want to make any type of public statement until after they've consulted their lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So you never know.
So one,
I imagine there'll be a couple of lawyer phones ring tomorrow morning, or not? Yeah, if it hasn't already. So
I want to bring up to you guys something that's we covered a couple months ago.
Bam, thank you, Bam. Yeah, go ahead.
And it was about a gentleman wrote in, and he said that he had wanted to purchase the film rights to indie comics, because he has connections in Hollywood, and he can take some of these projects to the next level, quote unquote. And we kind of we didn't take him to task. We gave him some constructive criticisms. So he
must have been a little while ago.
Yeah, he's back.
Okay,
he's back. He writes in. He writes back in. He's got two partners. So he got Dale, Scott, and Jordan. And they say, hey guys, after taking your advice, I have returned with a new investment firm. We are going to buy the rights to indie comics so that we can pitch them here in Hollywood, where we all reside, in LA. Now, here's the thing, guys. What they are willing to offer now for your rights to your product for just 4 years, meaning they keep the rights for the option rights for 4 years. They're going to option it for 4 years. They are now willing to offer $6,000. But they are willing to allow the owner of the property, or the creator of the property, they want to get the creator of the property 10% of the box office.
Wow.
10% of the box office. What do you guys think about that? Anything else outside of that, like action figures and other things like that, will have to be decided later. But is that a little bit better, Randy? $6,000, 4 years, plus 10% of the box office. They can
prove it. What movies you in? What movies you got?
They don't have any.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. I know a couple of my comic books that you can take for $6,000, and then you can give it back to me in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's fine. But in terms of me taking you seriously, what have you done? And that's a big thing. I mean, yesterday I was on a phone call. Like I said, I work for a book publisher, and someone calls and goes, "Hey, I want to, publish my book with you guys. So you got to go through, this route." And they go, "Well, I'm a big video producer in Hollywood." "Oh, why are you over here?" Okay, let's talk. What was the last movie you did? Where the red fern grows. Okay. I'm not familiar with that. Google it. 1974. Okay. That's the last one you did? Yep, big time. And I'm like, no. You're going the other route with you're gonna go the send us a PDF email route because you don't get special treatment. So it's just like one of those. I'll give them like I've got several comic book properties that have hit their stride. I did the Kickstarters, people got the books, and then there's really no more hype for them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, give me $6,000 per one. You can have it for 4 years, and then I want it back. But do I take you seriously in what you can give to me? I don't know.
Well, see, now that giving it back is the thing. Remember, they got 4 years to get it made. I'm pretty sure once they get it made, that typically what happens is that now you enter a new part of the deal where now they got to make a movie every couple of years to keep that going. So if they are, or they can Roger Corman it and just put out something. Yeah. But let me look because the chat is having a reaction to this. Nine Realms Publishing says, where can I get in contact with this person? It's Michael Oden over there. He says, Mike Jimmy says, I'll take 10% of the box off if it's lit on the contract, not net. Pat Koala says, add a 0 to the payment, ensure creative oversight, and add 10% of merch sales as well. Joe D. McPhee from the Decimal Small Plus Publisher says, lowballing to me. Jake says, 10% of a box office total of $5. Why, please? Bennies are better than peanuts, I guess. William Pace agrees. 10% of nothing is nothing, says Charles Santino. Imperial Vogue says, oh, I love where the real firm grows. Who didn't cry when the dog died in that? Nine Realm says, yeah, but 6K up front and rights revert in 4 years. It takes 2 years to actually produce a film. Yeah, I mean, well, a good film. They could fast track that sucker.
Yep. I would make it 2 years, and if something's not rolling in production at that point, it reverts back.
But
at least a script being written.
Here's the thing, Jordan. Do it. See who you can get online. At least here's the thing. Try to get one. You get one made, doors open. Because like Tyler says, they got to see what you've done. Once you get one made, now you got people's attention. And they're going to say, oh, okay, wait a minute. These guys might be able to get a film made.
You got to show proof. I like Randy's actually, hey, you can have it for 2 years. By that second year, and you can actually state that in contracts, like, hey, this will be 4 years, but if I don't see anything rolling, at least in 2 years, like at least someone, something starting, at least a cast, like, hey, we got this guy. At
least a script being written, because that would be the first step.
Yeah, if we don't have any, anything after 2 years, then we need to go into talks again. I do want to say something really harsh though, Varian. People are gonna hate. People are gonna be like, get Tyler off. Reading some of the comments from creators in the chat, and then saying, oh, it's lowballing, and it's not much. I do want to say, let's say someone came up to me right now and was like, Tyler, I want to take the film rights of your series Demons that you did, 3 years ago. You haven't done anything with it, and I'm going to give you $6,000 up front from plus 10% of the box office. I haven't made $6,000 on that book, So, yeah, you can have it for $6,000. Like, how many indie people have netted a profit of $6,000 on something that they don't have to do? Yeah. Like, oh, you're gonna give me $6,000 and you're gonna do all the work. So saying, adding a 0 or I want more, it's like, this is be real with yourself. You have not made this money on your property. In fact, this might get you out of the hole and sinking that money, all the money you sunk into that property.
And it's always, I remember when you remember when CrossGen made all those movie deals? I remember going to my comic store and they had put stickers on everything that says soon to be a major motion picture. Yeah. And that could work on your comic. We're being joined right now, Randy, by Michael Oden.
Woo! So where do I get in touch with this person? Because 4 years and rights revert back to me, dude. In the time of 4 years, I'll have like several other things out. 6K fund, like pretty much pays for outright 2 books for me. Like that's all of my production for 2 books. And then when I crowdfund those campaigns, every penny that I make that doesn't go towards printing and shipping is mine to pay myself and invest in other projects. Who do I talk to?
Mike Jimmy says, fair point, Tyler.
Thank you. Don't cancel me.
I think Tyler hit the nail on the head. It's like, having a profit of $6,000 off of something as an indie creator, like especially at our levels and everything, that's awesome. I'd take that deal. It's only 4 years.
I'm gonna be bad guy here for a second. Randy,
yeah.
Let's say they come to you and they say, Randy, we like you.
Mm-hmm.
We like you. We want the whole. We want the whole Zimmerman collection.
Okay.
We want to first look on the whole Zimmerman collection. How much?
I don't know. It all depends on who the person is. How much faith I have that they're going to actually do something. And how much control I'll have over the properties, depending upon exactly what it is. Because I'm like Tyler. I've got certain properties. Somebody could walk in and offer $6,000 for it. They can take it out the door. I mean, yeah, okay. Here, you want this idea? If somebody wants to buy, we've all got our prices and our limits, And there's other properties that they couldn't pry from me ever, no matter what they offered, because I want control over it and I've got stuff to say. Yeah.
And like there are definitely right now I only have
for cash. We're all flexible.
Exactly. Like right now I only have like 2 IPs, that I'm currently building. I've got Elysian Fields and I've got the Embrace. Now, what I will say is for the Embrace, I would take nothing less than $10,000. Is I have a co-creator on that. We have a deal for how we split profits and everything like that, and there is no way that I would allow myself to like that book is something very special. That's going to be like a completely different thing, because as Randy, you've even told me before, like this is a IP worth holding on to and don't let people fuck with.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's ultimately what it comes down to. Elysian Fields, I love it, and I think that it is a great project, but there are a lot of things very similar to it out there. So I would still want to retain creative control over the writing and everything, so that it isn't mishandled.
But see, that doesn't really happen in Hollywood that much. Like every time and I think they do it on purpose. When they give the creator or the comic book writer the opportunity to be a part of the writer's room, it's always a colossal screw up. Because I honestly think, and I love him, but I kind of think they set Frank Miller up to fail. I think they set Frank Miller up to fail because they figured he was too big for his own britches. Because you look at Sin City, he was co-director on that, and he was co-director in that. I think he was standing next to Robert Rodriguez. Is that Robert Rodriguez?
Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah. And he got co-director credit on that. And then The Spirit come out, and it's like, oh gosh, this is.
We can talk off camera about that. I've told you how I feel about that in the past. All you got to do is watch a video of him when he was promoting The Spirit to question Miller's in general. So, and that is my opinion.
Joined by Mike Jimmy, somebody who's now listen. We'd be paying Mike more. He's over in Europe. His euros are worth more than our money right now. So that $60,000 becomes closer to probably $8,000. I don't know if I'm cool with this deal.
Well, no. Like $6,000 in dollars is about 4,500 euros.
Yeah.
Yes. So actually, but see, for me, it's still so I'm paying you more. You're getting less. You might be like, I still need my 6. So no, I can't do that. Yeah, you're getting paid USD.
Oh well.
Yeah.
That's still around the amount that that's about half of what I put into Live from Korra so far. So still no, it's double what I put in Live from Korra so far. So all in all, it would be totally worth.
So you guys are all cheap. That's what I'm hearing.
No. Just everybody here can be bought.
Yeah.
Well,
we're cheap. We can be bought.
We're not IndieVolt, okay?
No. Oh no, you have no idea. You have no idea how cheap IndieVolt is. That's
Yeah, I remember that call. Randy, had somebody just offer me $6,000 for the entire empire. Should I go? Did I go?
Everything.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Take
Don't
it.
do it.
Take it. It's yours. No, I think that tobacco use on indie vote. I'm just kidding. Mr. Odin.
We know it all comes down to whether or not they can secure Usher to play you in the movie.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You guys have to understand that indie vote movie is coming. The true story. It's only we can tell it. And,
we just want to also guarantee Lance Hendrickson there will be a role for you.
Yeah, we have certain promises that have been made. People must get acting parts in this movie.
Now would just sell those rights for $6,000.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Developmental for 4 years.
Yeah, there it is. There's movie poster right there. For High Voltage, the indie movie. It's
which one's me? Where's Chris O'Donnell? I don't see him.
Yeah, you're not on the cover, man. What happened?
You're standing behind Peel.
That hurts, man.
Yeah, we've got Lola up there. From left to right, Lola, myself with the raccoon hat on. There's Matt Jones as Eric Hodson. Jesse the Body Ventura as Randy Zimmerman. Gina Carano as Nita Lanning. Jordan Peele as Brandon Cleckley. Kelly Hu as Meredith Logren. Leah Remini as Daphne Lage. And Zule Hanel as Felina. So yeah, we've got the people, yo. We've got the
guys. Yeah, Randy, are you really okay with Jesse Ventura playing you? I think we could do better.
I think is he still alive? That's the question.
Yes, he is.
No, I don't have a problem with that at all. And in fact, I know he could carry it off.
Now, I'm a little worried though. I mean, because
I say his classic line every time I do a print file. Anyway,
yeah,
I don't have time for bleeds.
Who are you gonna get for Tyler? Tyler has to be a very hard cast. Who do you think, Tyler? Who plays?
What do you mean? What do you mean it's a hard cast? It's like Jackie Chan, Jet Li. You can get the guy who's playing Snake Eyes or Shang-Chi. I don't care.
We go. Well, we're just gonna get Chow Yun Fat doing anything. Chow Yun Fat doing anything. Right
you can
now.
get me. You can give me Chris Hemsworth. That's what people call me.
Oh,
they call me the non-six pack Chris Hemsworth. I'm like, yeah.
So Tyler, you're gonna have to defend. You're gonna have to defend Patreon here.
I'm ready. Oh, here we go.
I got a message in. Okay, and it says that what do you guys think about creators over on Patreon selling asking for money to do what they're going to do anyway, which is draw? I feel that it's a bit of a con and begging.
I'm so mad.
I don't think
I'm actually. I got some thoughts on this too, but I'll let Tyler go first because I know that he's the one that shifted his platform over to fund on Patreon. I'm actually really glad that he's here because this is something that I wanted to talk to him about. So
there you go. So my patreon.com/DrawingTalk. What basically it comes down to is I'm always gonna. So for me, I'm the writer and artist. I don't need any other person's help when it comes to making the book. So I don't need to pay an artist. I don't need to I'm not in the hole. The only thing I'm in the hole for is my time. And since I'm already gonna make the book, for me, I don't like putting in 3 to 5 months of work in a book, crowdfund it, and then it come out 2 or 3 months later after I get the print file and then print it. Don't like that. So what I've done on my Patreon is this. I have my icon is my IP, The Girl with the Mega Fists. It is a black and white comic. It is 12. Every chapter is 12 pages, and it comes out every single 2 weeks. So when you subscribe at my $2 tier, you get you get the updates for you get 2 updates a month that are 12 pages, and you get to read it first. After that, people can pay $3 to read those 24 pages, and then later when we crowdfund it, you'll pay maybe a little extra more. At my $5 tier, you'll get all those digital updates, plus we'll send you the Patreon exclusive physical cover for $25 after you've paid. After 5 months of the $5 tier, we're going to send you your book, and that pays for the printing and the shipping those 5 months, and then we're going to crowdfund it for $25 to $30. So you're going to be paying more. Plus, I do exclusive behind the scenes stuff. I have an exclusive podcast. I also have exclusive comics on my Patreon that no one else gets access to. So for me, I use Patreon as a way to give my readers an exclusive experience. I have right now 50 copies of a book right now called My Life as RPG. If you sign up for the Patreon, I will send you that physical book. Oh, well, Tyler, I want that physical book. Well, it's an exclusive Patreon only comic. So if you want it, it's $2 a month, and I'll send you the physical book in the mail. So for me, I'm using Patreon as an exclusive experience. It doesn't mean though that you're not going to be able to get, like right now, my big comic is The Girl with the Megafists. It doesn't mean that we're not going to crowdfund it. It doesn't mean that I'm not eventually going to put it on Amazon or my own website. But the people who will get to read it first will be my Patreons, and they're going to get exclusive behind the scenes stuff. They're going to get an exclusive ending. They're going to get exclusive covers, and they're going to pay a better price for the book. Done.
I was reading that. I was reading about
that is what Patreon is.
Yeah. Well, and like that's my whole thing with it is I feel that a lot of people are using Patreon at this point, and I know I'm trying to do this as well, to get their platform, their business, or what have you, to a point where it is self-sustaining. We're crowdfunding, which is a nice thing that I think will continue to carry on. But where crowdfunding no longer becomes the sole source of revenue, so that we can continue production on projects and invest our time. I am not in the situation that Tyler is in. I am just a lowly writer. So I do have to pay for the talent and everything like that. And, at the end of the day, I also have a family to take care of. So I can't afford to constantly be shilling out from like my personal funds. It's just, especially with everything that's been going on over the past 2 years. If I want to continue to move, we need to have a steady income. And so what I ended up doing with my Patreon, and like there are still things that I think I can tweak and everything like that, but what I ended up doing with my Patreon is very similar to Tyler. Is I made it reward based, where like low end tiers get from like $1 to $15 a month. You get like, I think at $1 it's just effectively like, hey, thanks so much for helping us out. But then at $5 you get exclusives. You get exclusive looks at products as they're being produced. Checking out pages as they're being done. All that stuff. And when you get to like the $15 tier, you're getting like a whole digital, all of our comics digitally. And then when you get to the $20 tier, you get an annual package of all of the 9 Realms books with a Patreon exclusive, with Patreon exclusive covers. And then it just keeps going on up from there. It's effectively a way for me to create a subscription-based service that I would on my own website without having to pay for the building of that website. And that's the whole thing, is like, you can of course throw together a cheap website and what have you, but it won't work properly. And the price to upkeep that maintenance is not going to be worth the cheap price that you paid to get it put up in the first place. So it's better to, until you're at that point where you can actually invest and create that platform where you can send people to be like, hey, if you want back issues of our books, go here. If you want that, if you want to subscribe to the the books as they come out go here. Until as a business I am able to have that set up and afford maintaining that, I need a way to handle that. So Patreon provides that.
I also understand where that person's coming from, Varian, because an artist I follow is Cute Sexy Robots. I'm not part of their Patreon, but I get to see everything they do because they post it on Twitter. So I can understand that, and that's why I switched up the words that I use. I don't use the word "Hey, support me on Patreon." I don't, because none of that money is actually supporting me. My day job supports me. When I tell people about my Patreon, I say, hey, if you subscribe to my Patreon, you get books. At 100 subs, we make another book. At 300 subs, we make another book. Not even books. We're making series. So at 100 subs, we make another series. At 300 subs, we make another series. And then at the very last goal, which is the FU goal, I quit my day job. So I tell people, listen, when you're subscribing to my Patreon, you're not supporting me. You're just allowing me to hire more artists to make more books that you can read, and you get my entire catalog.
There's an FU tier.
It's an FU sub goal. Like if I've worked it out. If I can get 4,000 subs, I quit my day job. So that's why I mean I talked about last night on my live stream how I'm not doing any more live stream anymore. I'm not bringing on any more creators because my big goal is I want to get to 4,000 Patreon subs, and so everything I do now is how to get those Patreon subs because that's an FU goal.
A question that I want to levy against you, Tyler, is you've calculated that you got like certain goals within Patreon. But have you considered optionally open up for other like donation type stuff like Streamlabs, Ko-fi, etc., Subscribestar?
Yeah, like sure. It's just more places I have to manage. You know, I could start my YouTube. I have access to YouTube membership. I could do that, but I means I have to. I like having everything in one central hub. Because if I update on Patreon, then I have to update on Subscribestar. Then I have to update on Ko-fi, and then I have to.
Yeah, so then again, I'm gonna cut you right there because like putting all the eggs in one basket, considering the problems that exist on Patreon, when like spreading alternative support methods. I'm calling it support methods. Or if you want to be like more professional, passive income. Onto other platforms as well. I mean, it will take more time. It will take more management, but at the same time, you're not hurting yourself. If you're going to like create some sort of misstep, that it will be by the graces of Patreon, because they're very notorious for like control off-platform behavior and pull that into your pull support from you. And if you're like relying on it to that magnitude. What answer do you have as a backup plan for that?
Well, here's the thing with Patreon is you also get you always need a place. You always need to know who your readers are. You always need to know who's supporting you. And I make sure when any person subs to my Patreon, I get their email and I get their address. Now it's their email, so I can let's say God forbid I get kicked off of Patreon because I don't know why I get paid. I'm a good guy. But I get kicked off Patreon. Now I have everyone's email addresses. I email everyone saying, hey, we're going over here now. I have a YouTube channel where I communicate directly with my audience. Or I have their addresses. I'll send them a freaking postcard and say, hey, we're over here now. Here's a free comic. Like there are, so like, it's not that I'm not going to do I won't do Subscribestar, but or like Ko-fi. They're just like extra platforms. I mean, gosh, I'm making weekly YouTube videos. I'm making daily TikTok videos. I'm drawing a page a day. There's only so many places you can do. And my thing is when someone goes, well, hey, I don't want to back on your I don't want to subscribe to your Patreon, but I want your My Life is RPG book. I go, well, that's a Patreon exclusive book. So if you really want it, you're gonna need to get it. Okay, well then I want your Girl with the BrEaKfAsT book. Sweet, it's on Patreon. Well, I won't back unless it's on Kickstarter. Sweet, you can wait 6 months until we do we put it up on Kickstarter.
Mm.
I want the exclusive cover though. It's like you can't get that. So that's been a crazy conversation actually, like talking with people. It's like I want the exclusive Patreon cover on Kickstarter. That doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Then again, you've actually you made this plan for yourself working into your favors, considering that you're unique in the instance that you're an indie creator who's got a family, who's going to support that on top of having a day job too. So you're making compromises to just go for this limited degree. But like the dream I would like see in front of me right here is that if you reach Fuck You tier, you will inevitably probably be able to diversify and expand.
Yeah. And here's the thing, like with Patreon, you know, it's Patreon. It is a subscription. Like people, like creators, should see it as a subscription. Like Michael said, it's kind of like a way of like, hey, you're an investor. Like you're part of this. You're helping, and so then you get all this bonus stuff. And for me, if I only need 4,000 of those people to quit my job, but right now I'm already making the book at 35 Patreons right now, so they're already gonna get the book. So really I'm fine with keeping the Patreon like goal like small and being like, hey, this is where we're at in terms of hub. I'm totally fine though saying, hey, I'm gonna put my book on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Amazon, all these other outlets. I just think there's a difference between exclusive and then how you sell.
I want to bring attention to Courtney's comment. She says, my dad has a plan where he'll offer his books as a subscription. He'll ship any book or print he makes every 4 months to his sellers for $100 a year. I had a subscription thing on my site for a while. Any book we put out, which is a lot cheaper than that. I think I was like $25 a year. Any book or print we put out, we would send it to the person. Shipping was already paid. You know, it never caught traction. It never caught traction. So Courtney, I like to see how you do that. If he does it through Patreon, it could maybe work. Or he does it through one of those sites, he can maybe get some, like, just through your website. Yeah. Joe says, sounds like you have a solid business plan as a one-man army. Then that's to Tyler. Yeah, it's
And
sometimes in this
people
business,
don't,
that's what
people
you
don't
have
like
to
it
do.
though. People don't like it though, Randy. I told you I lost 50 subs yesterday because I said I'm not doing any more live streams on my channel.
Yeah.
Because they said, well, how come? It's because I keep getting messages from creators. Hey, can I come on your show? Can you come on my show? And I say, no, I'm not doing that anymore. And they're all leaving because it's true. I'm a one-man show and I've got this one goal, and that's the only thing that's important to me right now. That and being on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah. This is the most important morning show. Well, I mean, but we're battling out with the roast. We're battling out the morning roast. What we've done here is we don't go on when they're on, and that way, you know, we can solidify our efforts. Last thing I need is Sim and Chris.
Cooperation is the key.
Yeah. Cooperation, Randy. I sent you a DM, by the way, Randy. I confirmed.
I've been hearing bings all day and nothing.
Guys, you know everything that IndieVolt does for
wow.
For
wow.
For
I had my suspicions.
For the indie community, you guys know that if you want Gemini mailers, you can go get them. But go to the Gemini website, use coupon code VOLT10 VOLT10 and get those Gemini mailers. Like I said, 10% off of your Gemini mailers.
Yeah.
What we love to do is when we get those type of deals, we try to pass this deals on. We always ask, hey, what can we give our listeners, our viewers, our fellow creators? What can we give them? You know, is there a coupon code you have? Is there something that they can download, maybe a free ebook or something, anything they can download that's going to help them? And a lot of people are okay to give that up. Tyler mentioned it earlier. People go, oh, I don't want to support you on Indiegogo. I don't want to support you on Kickstarter. I don't want to support Patreon. And you have some people who just don't want to support you. Period. Yeah. What we've had happen here at IndieVolt, especially, was because we continue to straddle the lines and we continue to just focus on good comics. Lord knows, we got a couple that were supposed to be good, but they weren't.
What could you possibly be talking about, Varian?
I'm sorry, I was typing a message. What did you say? Could you repeat that, please?
I said, Lord knows you got a couple of comics that were supposed to be good, but they weren't.
What could you possibly be talking about? I wonder.
But
I wonder if it could be anything like this. I don't know.
No, it just wasn't.
Don't be mean. We don't have to be mean.
It was.
Everyone knows about it at this point. Everyone's been talking about it.
It wasn't. Well, it was for me. For me, though, when we're always looking at comics, we're always bringing on different creators from all over. I do not understand the idea, and I was told this recently. Well, you guys are renegades. I was told this. You guys are renegades, and people, people are afraid to come on your show because they don't know.
I knew I was a bad man.
Right. They don't know what you guys stand for.
I'm gonna clip that from Butters on South Park. I'm a bad man.
They don't know what you guys stand for, is what I was told.
Really?
And, because so it's like, well, yeah, I mean that's fine because I've got people. We've got. You
know what you and I need to do?
What's that?
We need to do a short video, like 10 minutes tops, about the Bill of Rights. The comic book Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
And just say, you don't know what we stand for. Fuck you. This is what we stand for.
We'll do.
You haven't been watching the show very much, you dick.
Let's do it. Let's do that. Let's do that video. But let's also, I got parchment paper. Let's print it out and send it to people.
Fucking A.
I got it.
Marion Grant just starts sending out random people. Here is our Magna Carta.
No, you got it wrong. It's our Declaration of Independence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just try sending out to people in tubes.
How very Protestant of you.
And we can send that out on parchment paper, have everybody sign it.
Yeah,
and send a copy of it, or send a shot of it back to us for us to display. We'll make a video about it.
Yeah,
and we'll have a dramatic reading of it. We declare these truths to be self-evident. That kind of thing. Yeah. One, everybody has a right to good comics.
Yeah. Can one of them be fuck off?
The last one.
No, that's the question.
If you can't agree with these simple and straightforward truths, fuck off.
Hey Joe, it sounds like a gig for you, considering that you were the artist now. Why don't you try out the speaking role for this one?
Yeah,
I'd ask where Thomas Jefferson is when you need him, but I know exactly where he's at.
Monticello.
Wow.
I was gonna say he was
right where the historians want to stick him.
Where he was, they're more concerned with where he was sticking it.
I'm afraid so. Exclusives and protection of them is a very important sales tool.
Oh yeah.
What's the point of exclusives if they're not exclusive?
Mm-hmm.
You would think so.
Yeah.
It's a great art.
Great art, terrible story. Oh,
I have to be in on that.
We're skipping about that book again.
Comic book Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence is brilliant. Yeah. We stand for making extremely great comics. Everything else is, I guess this is a college word again.
Probably shouldn't have said that because there's somebody out there right now writing that down. Declaration of Independence. I'm gonna rip that off.
Hey, here's the thing.
I'm gonna do that first. I'm gonna spell it wrong. It'll be great.
If anyone tries to impose like this is the declaration that all comic creators have to follow, and that's the thing is like I don't know what Randy or Varian or Michael or any of you guys stand for. I could care less. For all I know, Randy's a racist and Varian's in the Klan for some reason, and like
Varian. Holy shit, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it doesn't matter. Like,
Wait till they find out.
that they're gonna be
I feel
shocked.
bad.
But at the end of the day,
I've seen that portrait, Varian.
at the end of the day, if you're making comics or if you like comics, if you're a good person, I don't care what we shouldn't care about what their politics are,
Yeah.
or who they voted for.
No. Tyler, if they're a really good creator, we should already know what their politics are, and it doesn't faze us.
Very true.
Whether or not we follow that line or not,
Unless
they're
unless
a good creator.
Unless though, you could be a good creator, and like I don't care about your politics. But also though, if you treat me bad,
shit human beings, that's a whole different matter. Yeah,
exactly. Hey guys, I have to bounce. I really enjoyed coming on.
No problem.
Tyler, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, always welcome.
Never seen him,
Take it easy, dude.
Nice to meet you guys. Bye.
Yeah.
See ya.
Later.
Take care.
Now, I did want to bring up.
It's like we hold these truths to be self-evident. all creators are well. Anyway, we'll have to get Jefferson on it.
I did want to bring something up too. I was looking over the internet, and I seen where some have you guys? I guess I can bring this up. Varian's Clayton Basie from the Chappelle Show.
I'm totally distressed that there's been a major event happen over at DC, and only Jeremy from the Quartering has decided that it's worthy enough to cover.
And what was that?
Supergirl popped a zit.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Supergirl popped a zit.
It's classic.
Yeah, and it's goo everywhere.
It's goo all over half of her bathroom.
I didn't. I'm sorry. I want to
as if it was a great release.
The Supass Clan.
Oh wow.
That's Clan.
Yeah.
No.
Here's the thing.
We're never going to get past that one. If that sticks, Jake, I will blame you the rest of our life.
I'll make sure that happens every time I'm here.
If
they're part of the Supass Clan. What the fuck?
Well, here's the problem with that Supergirl zit thing, because there's zit pus everywhere. Okay. This implies though that any liquid she secretes must be in abundance. Good job, DC.
Yes.
Good job.
Whoa. Oh.
Overabundance, actually.
Mm-hmm. Good
That
job.
reminds me of Scary
It's a classic
Movie.
sequence. Classic. It's going to go down in history, right up there with the Batwang.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. They haven't thought about that.
And it holds what happens. What happens? That's all that's all. And are they going to show that too every 30 days?
Oh god. Uh-oh.
Terrible. Did
That's
you
all
guys
I'm saying. They've overstepped that bound into personal hygiene. You know what's next. Somebody's going to sit there and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rule 34 right there.
Ugh.
What did you say, Randy? Menstrual blood? I can think of it. I can think of another DC title. You brought me the ocean.
Yeah.
I said they've gotten into the subject of personal hygiene and superheroes. That's got to be the next step. Somebody has probably already pitched that up at their main offices.
Oh, more than
they've said, "Oh, that might be a good idea." Yeah. It'd probably be more like, "Oh, hey, that might be a good idea." Yeah.
I'm sorry. I want to ask you guys, have you
see the explosions now?
I was told that we need to focus on. I got a message. It says the Indie Vote needs to focus on what's going on over at Absolute Comics with the White Widow campaign. Somebody said it's a complete disaster. Is that true?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with that. Apparently, they're not
heard anything about it.
I've seen like little glimpses because there's a lot of people sharing stuff, but like I guess the campaign is like super late on fulfillment. There's no communication between the production company and the fans, and any single time that there's any sort of right about it, Kickstarter removes the complaint.
Yeah. So they're not fulfilling, basically.
They're not fulfilling, and then Kickstarter's actively silencing the people that are complaining about it on their platform.
Wow.
I see. Well, that's
well, the hassles. One of the drawbacks of being in the Wild West and blazing new frontiers is you're going to have people that turn that their campaigns go in bad directions, in terrible directions. There's going to be a lot of bad examples out there of people that have. Then there already are people who won't fulfill, people who decided they're just going to keep the money. People who fulfill incredibly late. We just had somebody on, I think it was Geekasm last night, that said that somebody had fulfilled a Kickstarter from 6 years ago. Just came in, just started fulfilling.
There is a pretty popular one who is still 5 campaigns behind and is launching another one this week.
He already launched it, and he's already at 14K.
Oh, wow.
14. Oh, I thought you were talking. I thought you were talking about the frog guy.
No.
He's only about 4 campaigns behind right now. So.
He's 5. I counted it. He's 5 behind. Technically, like he had a much smaller campaign that I think might even still be in demand. But and I think his second to last campaign is fulfilling, but that's because it was completely done by somebody else. Like, he only did the story.
I'm not sure who you're talking about now.
It's
your boy Zach.
It's your boy Zach.
Oh yeah, well that's a whole different can of but what we're actually seeing out there, and then something I've mentioned to Varian in the past, is these guys that have come up. Folks aren't familiar with their history. They need to go back and look at what happened to Image Comics, right? The first couple of half a year that they first came out. Everybody went a little crazy because that money literally changes you. A lot of money changes you a lot. And you can go off and all sorts and take that, the clown show, and spin it into all sorts of different walls all over and over again. And that's what we're watching now. We're watching everybody successful, and we're watching everybody unsuccessful. So we're seeing every screw up that's possible. Being late, disregarding fans, screwing with people, not getting the talent, or not having everything on board in a timely manner, on and on. You're seeing everything, what to do right and what to do wrong. So, the campaigns that are going wrong or have gone wrong like that need to be pointed out. And the ones that are on the other side of the coin, the ones that turn out really phenomenal need to be pointed out more.
Yes.
We've seen some phenomenal packaging. We've seen some great toys, some phenomenal books come out and be fulfilled by a lot of really good, successful crowdfunders. But it only takes one shithead to dispel who knows how many thousands of dollars and decide that crowdfunding isn't good because this guy did that. So everybody's going to do that. That everybody needs to understand, whenever you do a crowdfund book, you're setting an example. No matter if it's your first campaign, your 30th campaign, or 40th campaign, about make and deliver. And the way that you build trust with your audience is to deliver what you promise, and to keep to that, to hold that sacred. And we've seen, people go out and make other deals and do other books, and we've seen every example, and we'll see more. Just like Austin comes out of the blue with a new bad idea, that goes against the standards of what's accepted in the industry. We're going to see that with crowdfunding because it's the Wild West out there. But we're also going to see a lot of really good fulfilled books too, and those need to outweigh the bad.
And those are going to stay. That's the thing too.
Yeah.
Like, those are the ones that you're going to see in the future. Like, those are the ones that are going to stick around and stay around. And
because for every Zach out there who stumbled and is never going to be, we've already seen the peak and the rise and fall and even half rise and half fall and the ups and downs of that. There's a Brian Polito out there who's turned it into an industry, who's got it down to a system, who's constantly working it as a machine and doing it right, fulfilling. And the other guys are going to get there once they get their warehouse space straightened out and they stop realizing that You don't have to make 50,000 tchotchkes from China, because all it takes is one stuck goddamn steamer in the wrong canal, and you're screwed for months, half a year, maybe. You know, that's all it takes and that's something we've talked about here on the show, how you want to keep as much of your production as close to you as possible. You know, the internet's a wonderful thing, but when you're getting something physically printed, in my opinion, you need that printer close to you, because you need to be able to go over there and point and say that's wrong, that works, that doesn't work, and you need to have that personal touch where you're running over there with a check, you know, or you're there, you're visiting the print house as your book's coming off the line, because you care that much for it. You get to know your printer that way, and get a good relationship with them, so that they've got the confidence in you that you have to have in them as well.
I mean,
but yeah, it's important to stay close.
I used to have a printer in the United Kingdom when I started. Currently, I switched to one in the Netherlands because the UK currently adds a lot of import taxes. You know, getting those books in, and that would make it like triple of what, you know, I'm paying right now, because the printer that I found is cheaper too, with the same quality, and that's most important to me. But I actually had someone who at that printer who looked for me online and went, "Dude, are you the creator of Love and Korra? Because I saw it come by through the printer. Would you like a movie of it? You know, have it and see it all being put together." I was like, "Holy crap, yeah!" You know, and that's something you won't find so easily if you're doing something from China, or from anywhere really.
That's true.
So yeah,
you'd have to ask them to do that for you, and usually like, for $100 extra, well.
But the point is, every book that you do is an example. And right now, because we're in such a young fledgling market, especially when it comes to crowdfunding, you're an example for the entire market. And this art form depends on people to fulfill promises, to do quality work, and to entertain the hell out of people. That's the idea here. Not to see how much money I can make off of my next Kickstarter if I happen to offer a magic pog.
Yeah.
You know, the when it comes right down to it, it's the production of doing a quality, entertaining book that people can read, remember, and an IP that people will enjoy. That's how you sell your magic pogs, is by having an IP that people actually give a shit about. You know, but you have to keep in mind that you're an example here for the whole art form. Everything depends on you fulfilling your promises and keeping your promises, instead of being a bad example for everybody to get angry at and decide that they don't want to have a part in this industry anymore, because everybody in it are cheap, sleazy bastards.
Nina says, "I got a super cheap, high quality printer pretty close to where I live."
There you go.
And Russ says, "Only Death Can Save Us, fulfilled on time, and Abby Reader, mostly because of the fumes, but happy." I think let's see here.
Smell of success.
Yeah. I think that
I asked the wife to sit and read the Only Death Can Save Us. She goes, "Does it still stink?" I says, "No." It never stunk. It never stunk.
Like
beautiful.
You know, when you deliver once and keep to your promises, then that money is just going to keep growing.
Oh, that's your bond. Yeah. This is all the worth you are as a human, is how well you keep your promises and fulfill. You know, that's the whole idea behind this industry. Hey, give us some money, we'll give you some entertainment.
Yeah, this is sort of like why I hold myself back to like this CF stuff at all. It's not feasible for me because I don't know about the printing laws here in Norway, and I don't know about like any printers who are willing to accept independent publishing, unless that you go for a independent company, comics company that you can apply for and have released through them. But like pure indie, good luck with that. And for that matter, it would costing a hell of a lot more money for me to like ship out and all this stuff.
Yes.
So I need a pretty penny as a like a campaign goal if I wanted to like do stuff. I can't put it down like to 500 or 1,000 for every campaign. And I'm not even sure that the product that I would be delivering, regardless, being any good for that matter, because I'm not aiming for like making like long running series or anything like that. I want to make short works. I want to make graphic novel sizes, just for like digest. And but I'm just there's like too much playing against my desire of success. So I gotta like seek other alternatives. And while looking at it from an outsider perspective, I can see that having that much of a trust onto one person, not want to screw up for everyone else, sort of tells me that this is not like an this is an accountability thing. And it's an accountability on the behalf of an entire industry that is built on customers for customers.
Yes,
that is a scary thought, and that there's a lot of there's not a lot of like leeway to like write off your own actions. Just puts a lot of pressure, and I cannot really like commit to that. I get definitely afraid of that stuff.
Well, I mean, it is a very humane fear. It's a very good fear. You know, you don't want to screw up. You don't want to get into touch with the wrong people. You know, and like I only last year opened up with, you know, getting my writers, getting a colorist for myself, and you know, being at the top of that pyramid, because that's what it is in the end. You know, it's not a scheme. You know, I deliver, I always do, and they get paid fairly and everything. But you know, I'm at the top of that. If I stop, then everything stops. So yeah, that's scary. It's incredibly scary, but it's if you're not willing to take that risk, and don't take it. Simple as that. And yeah, no, keep to anthologies, keep to smaller things, and you know, keep it enjoyable for yourself. You know, you're doing.
I got like a leg. I got like a leg in that I want to expand upon a market that is slowly dwindling in of itself because of the monopolization. In that, a lot of the focus is now being drawn into webcomics being like on platform reading. That'll be on webtoons and Tapas and all that stuff. Broadening or expanding that onto not only going through those channels, but also keeping an independent site so that you can have at least a modicum of control of your wants and desires as a creative vision being posted there for everyone's enjoyment and all that stuff. I want to like sort of like build a foundation over there and try to communicate that this part of the system can work, but like solely rely on either or will be limiting your like full potential, I would say. So I'm afraid mostly that people that are going into CF or specifically wanted to be in like print, they'll be solely locking in onto that and not see alternatives or for putting out different IPs that might be a little bit smaller, like a strip or like a short comics form. So that they can like still supplement an alternative reader base in a sense. that there's a lot of demand going into that, but I'm looking at from where I look at it, I'm not satisfied with either or. I want both of them, and I don't see like there's been put enough of a effort or focus onto solving that issue.
Well, there's a couple of examples that, like, I know, like people that started on webtoons, started on Tapas, you know, free comics, just, doing it for the sake of, and that's the best way. You gotta do that. That, like, you don't immediately have to make a profit. And yes, you can do both. Like Drawn Talks is saying, like, yes, do both. I started on Tapples with my first comic just to get it out and show the world, like, hey, I'm doing comics. And from there I just slowly grew and got a following, made a lot of sales through BuZz, through webtoons. But since I'm very much focusing on my with conventions here, got proven to me that I have a very solid idea that is working for me. It's more worth for me to wait until the crowdfunding campaign of the next issue to start uploading those comics, because they're still going to be free on BuZz. But yeah, I'm gonna wait until the next issue is done, and then I'm gonna fulfilled, and then I'm gonna start uploading them.
I guess one of the aspirations that I also want to reach is that there's a synergy between the two, and not only that there is big divided focus to either a physical and a virtual thing, but that there is some kind of overlaps in the sense that you can create something of wholly new of a model that has been explored by Drawn Talk, for instance, in that he wants to focus mainly on drawing comics for Patreon, but he still wants to do physical. And
yes.
And it shouldn't be that way if he's going to delay production outwards, because it takes a lot of time out of his model, because it would be like a 5-year plan if he's going to go for that. I would at least like to see that there could be a shorter span of time being put into productions and still want to commit to it. And of course, it will be and it must be said, you will need other people to be there for you. You can't do that drive alone. You got to have a small core team.
One of the examples that I know is a creator called Soap or Salad. She has been making a very successful webcomic for over 5 years, I think, by now. And so once she was far enough into it, doing her weekly, every single day episode, she went to crowdfunding, made 25K, and fulfilled through that. But otherwise, she was completely living off of Patreon. And the reason she just made the physical book was because conventions would supply with it, and for conventions separately, she would make trinkets. She would be making illustrations and everything, and shorter comics, like 22-page issues that she could push out very easily. But would be short, contained stories like you probably want to do, besides the long-term webcomic, because they are usually longer, focused on a longer storyline in order to slowly grow that audience. Because I'm going to be clear with you, it's always a 5-year plan. Like anyone can tell you, anything you do that you want to do professionally is going to be a 5-year plan.
Yeah, I do myself. I got like a 7-year one, so I'm not saying that I'm out of it.
You like how I just jumped back in, Varian, because I heard my name, and I'm working from home today, and I was like, oh, I gotta say something. No, I agree though. I've agreed with everything that Mike has said. It's you have to have a 5-year. I have a 3, 5, 10-year plan.
Exactly.
And when people go, why are you making this move? It's not going to pay out. It's like, well, I'm really hoping it pays out in 10 years. Like it's this long game. In terms of the production, though, there is a way to do the digital and the physical, and not have to keep the production at 5. at in years, right now with the girl with the megafist, we're doing a new chapter every 2 weeks. The trade paperback will be out in 5 months, and then on that, like, once it's done, we send it out. And so you're having a 5-month production time, but that's just how I'm running it. Other creators will have to figure that out. My friend Tim Lim, he did Black Ops. He does a Black Ops Common America. Their campaign just ended at $102,000. That book, when they launched the campaign, the files were already at the printer, and they already finished with the next one. Like, they are constantly churning out. They have a 4-month like cycle with what they're doing to put out these graphic novels. Yep. So you just have to figure out what your schedule is. Maybe it is a 20-page floppy, or you update 1 page a week on your webcomic. You just have to find what's all okay with you. The big thing really isn't just the making the comic. Unfortunately that's the easy part, is making the comic. It's how do you build the audience? And that's where really that's where that 3, 5, 10-year plan is I'm making these moves so that I have an audience in maybe 5 to 10 years. That's I'll say this. As much as sometimes I get really angry with, like, Ethan Van Sciver, and how I'll be like, man, like, how can he get away with this? One thing that people always forget is Homeboy did grind for 30 years in the industry to build his audience. So it wasn't like he just had some random YouTube success. He grinded, and so all of us have to put in our own grind and hustle in our hours so that we can then scam people.
Then again, you're bringing up a good point there, Tyler, in that you bring on a creator that have built a readership, but then again, he's living off legacy. The same thing, you can see that across the board when it comes to all caps comics.
It's just legacy. They're all legacy. Comics.
Like the recent, was it Dale Neon? Legacy.
Dale Keon. Did you hear how Jake put that extra accent on there?
But it's true. All Caps is grabbing these old school indie creators and giving them a platform. For me personally, that's not the kind of comics I grew up with, but that's Ethan's audience. Ethan's audience loves these legacy old school titles. For me, I don't. And there are millions of others, by the way, who don't like those comics, and they want something else, and you can find them. And, when I talked about the Patreon goal, I only need 3,000 to 4,000 people. That's not a lot. There are billions of people on this earth. 3,000 to 4,000. If you can find your core 3,000 to 4,000 people who support you, you're good. You're Gucci. It's over. But you have to find them, and you have to go to where they're going. Maybe you're dancing on TikTok. Maybe you're on, making a YouTube channel. You got to find out where they're. You got to go where they are.
Yeah, I call it gas station principle. It's it's literally that. Everyone is going to one place or another to collect gas, but then again, there's another competitive gas station right across the street.
Yep. From Indievo Radio, a lot of this is from EACK Access. A lot of talk from you guys about plans. However, what about the plans for your book? I have discovered a way for my title to work. I am currently courting adult film star Angela White as the heroine of my story. You can hire porn actresses to base your character around for a little of nothing, and they are always happy to promote your book. Let's take a look at it.
Show me the art.
Wow.
Show me the cover.
Are you sure you want to do that on YouTube?
Show me the cover.
Let me see here.
By the way, is that a 10-year plan? Because what happens in 5 years when she retires and it's irrelevant?
Exactly.
By the way, people who are watching, I have no idea who this person is.
No.
No.
Okay then.
Careful. Hey,
it's a good thing.
Well then.
There's no nudes out there. I looked.
Okay.
I know her. I've seen her work.
I've seen her.
Seen her work.
Who is this woman? I have no idea.
No idea. Don't care.
Yeah, don't care. Who is this?
But cool for you. I'm glad it works for you.
Angela. Excuse me. I have to go. I'll be back later, gentlemen. Bye.
Sure.
Yeah, you got to step out for 15 minutes and go practice.
We'll be back in 5.
One of the fun things that I found about doing this podcast is that you run across people who look at the business from totally different contextual point of views. Now, if this person who wrote in had been around 20 years ago, 25 years ago, they would see that this was done over and over and over and over again in the market. And it only went so far, and then they moved along. And most people did. And granted, there's still that demographic out there that comics will always cater to, that likes the large round, that likes to look at women. You're always going to have that market here available. Yeah. But there is such a thing as overdone. You're not.
It's not evergreen.
Most of the time when you try to do stuff like this, it's already been tried before. You just have to go back in comic history and see, even in the independent market, to see how successful or unsuccessful.
Well, Randy
endeavor was.
Randy, you're old.
I'm an old man.
But
fuck off my porch.
Would you say the reason why it didn't work necessarily, like it worked and then it didn't work, is because it wasn't evergreen? Like they're like, oh, I'm gonna make my book on like using Pamela Anderson's likeness, and then when no one talks about her anymore, it's like, well, look at my book, it's got Pamela Anderson. They're like, who's that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like,
it's part of it.
Okay, got
that is part of it. But another part of it, hopefully,
writing these tips down.
He said, keeping his fingers crossed, is the fact that we're actually growing up as an art form, and maybe we're getting past the Beavis and Butthead stage and getting it into a little bit more of an art. And there's nothing wrong with the Beavis and Butthead stage if you're Beavis and Butthead.
Also,
that's why I'm saying that market will always be there, but hopefully the art form in general has evolved a little bit higher than that, and has, embraced multiple other points of view, and are willing to support that and keep that out there and in the art form.
One thing that's dangerous, also what he said, and it kind of goes back to like something that I heard about. I've been kind of realizing is if you read the message, he's like, use porn stars because they will promote your comic. And he's basically like using the person. I'm using them solely because they have a big platform. I'm going to promote it. Yes. And a common message I've been getting is, Tyler, where do I go? If there's a lot of people not live streaming anymore. I don't know if you guys have a radio show, so you're doing constant shows. And so luckily, you guys can, house a lot of creators, but gosh, what happens when you guys go? And what happens when all these other people stop live streaming, and then people go, where do I go? At the end of the day, us creators, we need to do two things: make the book and make a platform for ourselves. If there's no podcast for you to get on or live shows to get on, you need to make your own. You need to build it out yourselves. God forbid, Indie Volt goes down and now everyone's like, great, what do I listen to in the morning?
Yeah.
Or where do I go to promote my book? Or who do I talk to?
Guys. Learn to code.
There's always a future in computer programming.
By the way, that was art of Angela White. That is art of her, actually. So
taste.
Yeah.
Mike Jimmy is currently washing his eyes out. Just kidding.
I've been moving a lot of dusty boxes and everything all day long because I'm a mover as a side job, and my eyes get so dry at the end of the day.
Oh, I thought you were saying that Angela's box was dusty. I'm sorry.
That's what I thought.
She was quite young. No, I listen. This whole thing about hiring porn stars. Yeah, eventually, what happens when she retires in 5 years? What happens when she's no longer that it girl? And two, look. Here's the problem. Do you really want? I get it. When Triple H said it was BS. But what happens when somebody Googles that character? When someone Googles that character, like, oh, who's that? And their work pops up. All of a sudden, you're going to automatically be labeled an adult comic for no reason. Yes. You might not even have adult material in there because you have an adult art based on. You're a bad person. And oh my goodness, you got a porn comic. I'm not gonna have your comic. I mean, it's just so many people looking to divide us however they can. That'll be just another way to keep you down. Not saying you shouldn't, but just if that's what you're basing it around, you're gonna have an issue. However, Angela,
if you have no idea about what kind of things happened in the past regarding this, look up Stripperella.
You leave Stripperella alone. She's a saint.
I'm just here to inform people that
no, but we can all agree that it was one big flop.
Yes,
I'm not.
Whatever. She got a show. I think she got a show.
There's multiple examples out there. Carmen Electra got into the business initially playing Poison, and look at where her career is now. Non-existent.
What is this? Ending soon. Life on Core.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes. Only 4 days left.
Inner talent.
Yeah.
Also something Angela White has. Inner talent. So see, you guys are just.
Yeah.
There was a time at the shows they used to have a lot of porn stars there signing. You don't see it anymore because they're aiming for a more family-friendly audience.
That's a big thing that I think indie creators, and now my boss is like, hey, did you get the thing done? Now come back to work, to office. So I'll leave. One thing I think a lot of creators, I think we miss we're missing is, I don't know what everyone else's books are. I know Michael's because I've seen it. I saw the Elysian Fields.
Awesome.
But if you look at the if you look at the top books right now, it's Dogman, and it's these scholastic titles, and I'm gonna ignore manga just because I just want to say, like, I think I looked at when I had a kid, when my kid was born 2 years ago, I was currently making I was finishing the 14th issue of my comic Demons, and there was blood, gore, a lot of death, and I was like, man, there is no way I will ever let my kid read this. And then I put out my next sci-fi graphic novel, guns, explosions, aliens, dead, blood, and I was like, man, like, and don't get me wrong, they were great comics and got great reception, but I think we as creators sometimes we miss and this is like if we're wanting to hit a bigger market, is there are a lot of kids. Whenever I go to con, I have a kid comic called Boxy I did. That thing sells out every single con because the parents are like, oh my gosh, my kid can read this and it's cheap.
Yes.
And they get so excited, and these kids are the next generation of readers.
But Tyler,
they're gonna follow you, huh?
You changed. You now have like an insight to see that.
Yes.
You got an in right now. You got like the perfect test subject in your house for like in the future to create your own children's books. It's just perfect. It's grand. And you can try that out.
I actually got to pop off my own self because I've got to go take care of some stuff.
He's going to pop his own self.
Gonna pop what?
Hopefully we see him again.
Girls all over the place.
That's the thing too. Like, I've had parents come back to me for Love and Core go, yeah, I'm teaching my children English with this.
Nice.
You know?
It gives them an experience, and they'll follow you, Mike. The kid will be young right now, but in 10 years, he's like, I've been reading your stuff for the last 10 years. You got me into comics at that con. I just got done teaching at a school for an hour. They just had me on for an hour to teach these kids comics, and then I handed them all a comic. That's that 10-year plan. I'm probably not going to see these kids, but in 10 years, they go, hey, you gave me my first comic.
Dude, I've done that.
Exactly.
I've done that. I've gone in after school and taught cartooning.
Yeah.
And now I get these guys, hey, I started a graphics, a graphic arts career. I got me a bachelor's in college in graphics. And I did it because I sat in on your class once and realized how easy it was to draw. It's like, holy crap, dude, that's amazing.
Like that's the niche. That's the place
makes
we gotta
it all
get.
right there. And you never know what you're planning. When you're out there, you have no idea what's going to happen in 5-10 years.
Yeah,
here's a life hack. If you want long-term payout, human connection.
Yeah.
Yes.
You just don't want your work to turn up in someone's manifesto. That's all. You know.
That's why
you don't want your work to turn up in someone's manifesto.
That's true, or stolen, or
No, like, hey,
spelt wrong.
Yeah.
I still buy the ongoing comics that I read as a kid.
Mhm.
And even though the new writers and the original ones have died and everything because they've been going since the 50s, I still buy them. I don't think they're good, but I still buy them. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, but like the characters evolved. I grew up, but the series is still very close to my heart, and I'm gonna follow on that.
Right. But the 12-year-old who isn't reading that X-Men comic, X-Men is not dear to them. So once all the X-Men fans die, X-Men dies. So like, where they're going, like, is Dogman going to be like this really old dog, and the last one they're gonna have to put him down? Like,
yes, old yellow style.
Well, everything runs in waves like that. That's why you're not seeing a rush from Hollywood to do another Phantom movie or another Shadow movie or another Tarzan movie or a Doc Savage film, because most of the buying public out there are not aware of that. But if you were to kick out a Dogman movie right now, you'd have all the kids begging to go to the theater to see it.
They're there. Yeah, so I think with cons, I mean, I think it's easy to get people. It's not easy to get people to the table, but if you can bring something for kids, like, Candy Bowl, kid comic, they're gonna come, because every other table has adult stuff, but that's how you can set your apart. That's my TED Talk. I gotta bounce, guys.
All right.
Hey, everyone, sub to Indie Volt. Randy needs a raise.
There we go.
Yeah,
there we go.
Someday I may get paid.
Randy, every time I love watching this, because I always want to know what's behind that sheet behind you.
It's a cluttered mess, a bunch of long boxes, and it's a pile.
Yeah. All right, guys, sub so we can get super chats and we can get rid of this sheet.
Yeah.
See you guys.
I'll get a green screen here real quick. So just put it up behind the spiral rack. Yeah.
It is interesting that people would want to. By the way,
we should have had Tyler say where they could find his stuff.
That way, you can check out.
Seeing what time it is.
Already posting. Don't worry, guys.
Okay, they did good. Go to the chat for that information.
Yeah.
There's a friend of mine who, for the last 10 years, has been making very quick, cute creatures. Like rat pandas and normal pandas and foxes and all that, but very cute, very chibi.
Mm-hmm.
And over the last year, she has been going into wholesale. She is going into stores. She has been, she started a webcomic because, to even more broaden her audience.
Mm-hmm.
But she just started with like cute animals doing cute things, Look it up, Cutie Squad. It's adorable.
Cutie Squad, cool.
Cutie Squad, yeah. It's and she, from pretty much getting nothing for 10 years straight, selling trinkets on conventions and everything, she's currently doing wholesale. She's going to the United States for wholesale. Like, she's going to be in stores there, in the UK, in the Netherlands, wherever they want her. In China currently, like, she's getting really big. Just because she's been doing it constantly. It's really just a matter of doing it and knowing your brand and what you want to do with it.
Yeah. There's a number of cutie squads that pop up.
Cutiesquad.nl.
I'm sorry, that word is so ruined for me. Jeez.
Cutie or squad?
Cutie.
Yeah, no.
Are they cute little animals with dot eyes?
Yes.
Oh, that is cute.
Yes. Put it on the screen if you can. But yeah, her name is Gladys Peanut, and she just makes adorable stuff, and she's so much fun to talk to.
Is that it right there?
Yeah, that's her. That's her right there. Cutiesquad.nl. It's just adorable. Cute.
Yes, they are.
Just, sticker sheets and all that kind of stuff. It's just fun, And she's having fun making them. She does them in like 15 minutes. and they sell like hotcakes.
Cool.
She's living off of these.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, Jimmy, tell folks where they can find you.
You can find me on Indiegogo with live on Quora for Inner Talents. We are on the last 4 days, and we are only 2 backers away from reaching another stretch goal, and 7 more for the next one. You can unlock bookmarks with creature descriptions on them and the creatures themselves. You can find me on Twitter at @and_ents, on Facebook as Mike Jimmy Lorcia de Bruin or Fairies and Ents. And, hit me up. I'm always in for a talk. And, yeah, just look me up.
Great. Jay, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at JTV, not W, Ister, J Twister. Or you could just search up the name J Twister. I'm currently working on an anthology called Twisted Fairy Tales on Indiegogo.
I'm in there too.
Yeah. And the links are up. Yeah, there are.
Cool. Awesome. Hey, folks, I've been your co-host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter under Randy Zimm, though I'm not up there very often. But especially look for Arrow Comics 4.0. We have a link tree with a connection to our Instagram, our Facebook, our Twitter, which is constantly growing by the day, thanks to Meredith and Nita. Are out there building our platform up and showing off just some of the things that we have planned to be coming out from Arrow Comics in the near future. So those books are also going to be available for retailers at a great wholesale rate, available only through Liberty Distribution, and that's ledg.us. Because of if you get up there and take a look at what Liberty does, they are a different kind of distributor where they are shipping. They are offering books that they have in-house ready to be shipped directly to you for you to put on your shelves. And what that means is that you don't have to order 3 months in advance. You don't have to worry about whether or not you can fit it into your budget. You can order it. You can pay for it. It comes within a couple of days as soon as it can get shipped to you. And it comes bagged and boarded. You can take it right out of the box, put it right on your shelf, and make it available for your customers. And if you become a charter member with Liberty and sign in as a retailer, we also Liberty also offers a buyback program. If you do buy a book and you set it on your shelf for a while and it doesn't move and you don't want to keep it or offer it at a discounted rate yourself, you can always trade that book in for another book from Liberty. That's how much that we believe in this product, or that Liberty believes in their products, and that's why I'm very proud to be distributed by them. I ran afoul with Diamond so many times, and there's so many there, and all of the retailers out there who've tried to deal with the guys in the green section all have legitimate reasons for being wary. Ordering 3 months in advance. Do we know if the book's ever going to come out? Will there ever be a number 2? On and on and on. Where Liberty curbs all of those problems by offering you product they already have on hand, ready to be shipped directly to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There are a lot of people a lot of publishers who've come to us and like, well, can you just get me the sales and I'll ship them? No, we don't do that. We have to have the books in hand first. That way we can make sure we have to protect our retailer as much as we're protecting our vendors. So, we make sure we provide them a service. They know they're going to get that book in hand within a couple of days after ordering it.
And believe me, in this business, there's nothing a vendor is going to want to hear more than to have Liberty get a hold of them and say, hey, we've sold through your product. You need to send us more. They'll be real happy to do that. So even if they're temporarily out of stock on stuff, it's only going to be temporary.
Yeah.
That they're not going to offer something that they don't already have had in their hands and ready to ship directly to you.
Mm-hmm.
When do we get paid from Liberty? Hey, we also want to remind everybody that we have a great sponsor that we are deeply grateful for, Gemini Comic Supply. If you go over to Gemini Comic Supply, and we all know what Gemini Mailers is by now, if you've ever done any type of campaign or listen to any of these shows, you know who Gemini is and how reliable and how they have become the shipping container, really, for crowdfunding books. If you go over to their site now and buy any Gemini mailers from them, use the coupon code VOLT10. That's VOLT10, and you will receive 10% off your order. So go over there and order a large one. Make a large order with Gemini mailer. Save a lot of money, and all on us. And you don't have to agree with us to use that code, but we are the only ones that have that code with Gemini mailer. And in order for you to get a discount, there are no other discount codes from Gemini out there available or that will be given. So, and we deeply appreciate Gemini as being a sponsor.
Yeah. And also make sure you tune in this Saturday night for Backer Shots, hosted by Lola, the Indie Princess. They've got a couple guests. I forget who. I don't have it wrote down here. But they got a packed show.
It's always a fun
nice.
show. Yeah. Always one we end up talking about Sunday morning because of how much everybody drinks the night before.
Yeah.
And holds their over at Sunday morning at 9 a.m. we do Sunday Funnies, where we talk about the more fun side, hopefully putting the fun back in funny books.
And
about the more whimsical stuff. Go ahead.
This Sunday, and then later Sunday night, I'll be
Sunday afternoon.
I'll be out.
Yeah.
There's also Pitches Be Crazy on Saturday as well, but this Sunday afternoon, other special issues. We're gonna be talking about something kind of dicey in the comics community. The comics community. I was asked to talk about this, so we're gonna have some people on it. There's some concerns of tokenism and racism. In our beloved industry.
I thought it was cultural appropriation, considering the amount of crimes that you've committed with speaking the foreign tongue of Nordic. But okay,
yeah.
Maybe that would be a special issue in the future.
There it is. How I've slayed the Nordic language. I keep trying. You got to give me A. You got to give me A for effort. I'm trying.
Jag ska ge den okej.
What time is Pitches Be Crazy on?
Pitches Be Crazy is it 2? Is it 1:30? 2 o'clock? I think it's one of those times.
And then you'll be on right after that with another episode of Special Issues.
Special Issues is Sunday. Pitches Saturday. Special Issues is
Pitches
Sunday.
is on Saturday, and then on Sunday, Sunday afternoon it will be another special issue.
Yep. And so we're gonna talk about some of the racism going on in the industry and what creators of all colors have experienced. I'll even talk about some of my personal things as it relates to IndieVolt here, things that have happened to me. So we're gonna talk about that. And I hope to see you guys then. KYD_V on Twitter is where I can be found. Varian Grant, pretty much everywhere else. Make sure you check out IndieVolt.com for the latest independent comic news. And then IndieVolt Awards. Submit your book today for the Independent Comic Book Award Show of the Year. That's IndieVoltAwards.com. Find us on the radio. Find our radio numbers at 62,107. Thank you guys for listening.
Thanks so much. Appreciate
download it. You can download that on Google Play, Streamer, TuneIn, Alexa. You can listen right in on IndieVolt.com, right on the URL of the page, midway down there. There's a player you can listen in, independent music and content just like this, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, over on IndieVolt Radio. And then streaming's your thing. Of course, you can download our app, IndieVolt TV, over on Roku. You have a Roku television or enabled device. You can pick that up. And Roku is actually, I can announce this morning, Roku is going to become a sponsor of IndieVolt, the breakfast buzz. Awesome. So and they're going to give me 2 Roku systems to give away.
Oh, sweet.
So
that'll be good.
They are on their way to me as we speak. And Roku's giving me 2 systems to give away. So we're very excited about that. So make sure that you if you don't have, if you're not subscribed, I think I might give them away to a subscriber. What do you guys think?
Pardon? Give away to a subscriber?
Subscribers should get them.
So, subs for.
Yeah.
See, I knew shouting out Roku when I was doing my sleaze pitch worked.
You can check out. We'll be giving those away very shortly. They give me 2 of them. Who knows where it goes from here? Maybe they'll send me one every month. I can give away.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Download IndieVolt TV on there. It's free, independent produced content, movies, music videos, wrestling, and some long form content, just like what you're watching here.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And before we're out of here, to backtrack just a little bit, we did a special issues a couple of weeks ago about the Terraform company. It's a bit long to listen to, but believe me, you're going to want to go back in the archives and listen to that. There's a lot of very important lessons to be gleaned from that, and we advise everyone to take a second, jump over to the YouTube channel, make sure you're subscribed, but go back in the archives and look for the Unearthed special, the story of Terraform. There's a lot of eye-opening, crazy experiences that happen, and you're going to want to listen to that program if you haven't already.
Yeah, you mentioned that, Randy. I forget who it was. We don't talk to everybody that often, but we got a chance to get pop in a room last night, a little bit after one of the shows. It was last night before, and I forget who it was. They said that 60 people had reached out to them and said, 60 people and said, thank you for doing that show. 60 people. That's ridiculously, it's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. So thank you guys for watching. And just, I looked at the watch hours for it. People are sitting through that whole thing. They're sitting through the whole thing. So,
well, it's a crazy story, and it's told, chronologically.
Yeah.
So they want to get there until the end, and that's only the surface stuff. There's a lot of other things that have happened, and apparently continue to happen. That is just ridiculous. And
genuine comics in the house.
We might eventually end up having to do an Unearthed 2.
I want to listen to this while I draw. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you guys
it's worth listening to.
Thank you guys for being here with us today. Want to thank Tyler Carpenter popping in. Want to thank Mike Oden, Jake, Jimmy.
That's the Embrace over on Indiegogo, I believe, is still in demand. So Life on Korra, also at Indiegogo. It's CORA. Look that up for Mike Jimmy. Fractured or not fractured fairy tales. What is it?
Twisted Fairy Tales.
Twisted Fairy Tales. That's available right now. Is that a campaign going on?
Yes.
It's an ongoing campaign. It will end the July 31st, if I'm not mistaken.
Where is it at?
Something like that. It's on Indiegogo.
Twisted
Jake and I are both in there.
Yeah.
So if you want your adult comics anthology fix, we got that covered for you. Both me, Mike, Jimmy, and several other European creators, and not limited to.
Yes.
Well, that's it, gentlemen. I'm going to get out of here. Let us wrap the show up, and you guys tune in. Check us out. We got more content coming your way. As long as we can provide. I'll take us out of here.
Everybody have a great weekend. Be safe.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon.
Take it easy, lovelies.
Stay
awesome.
Like a great weekend. Something like what, anyway. See you later.
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
How can he close me up? On what ground? I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in